Many of my clients are participants in an advanced alternative payment model, like the Medicare Shared Savings Program. Many of them continue to make MIPS submissions just in case. Is there any value in that?
Great question, Kristin. There is some potential value, and it relates to QP status. QP means qualified participant. It's not enough to participate in an APM. You have to hit thresholds of either the percentage of Medicare beneficiaries or the percentage of Medicare billings that get attributed to your providers through the APM to be a QP. If a provider, by hitting those thresholds, becomes a QP, MIPS submission is entirely unnecessary. If they hit a lower threshold and become a partial QP, they can elect to participate in MIPS or not. And if they're neither partial nor a full QP, they have a MIPS liability. If they don't make any MIPS submission or no submission is made on their behalf in a year in which they're neither a QP nor a partial QP, they might get a maximally negative MIPS adjustment if they have not made any MIPS submission. Now, the details differ for different APMs. All APMs, that is advanced alternative payment models, are required to be subject to some kind of quality analysis. In the MSSP, the most common APM, that is the Medicare Shared Savings Program, the APP, that is the APM performance pathway, is required by the APM, by the MSSP, to collect any shared savings that are generated. Now, for the APP in that MSSP, the APP serves not only as a quality submission for the MSSP, but it also serves as a MIPS submission for participants who need one. Now, that's not necessarily the case with quality reporting required in other APMs. So pay very close attention to the requirements in the APM in which the provider is participating. So a MIPS submission for your providers who are in APPs can be a wise precaution. I'll give you three reasons for that. If they do not make QP status, they might need a MIPS submission to prevent a deep MIPS penalty. Two, we've come across some APMs that fail to submit their quality reports. If your provider is counting on the APP submission to count as their MIPS quality submission, they are completely out of luck if the ACO does not submit. And finally, if they do require a MIPS score, they might just generate a better score on their own than the ACO generates. After all, the ACO report is going to average essentially the performance of all the providers in the ACO. If your provider happens to be a top performer, their individual MIPS submission might be better than the ACO score. So they could end up getting a better adjustment on their own than being subject to the ACO score. And Medicare will give them credit for the highest score that is submitted on their behalf.